Hi, welcome. On today's trip, we're going to try a couple of things. I want to experiment on going up steeper inclines to see how the bike copes and to take some shots for a bigger film project I'm planning. So this is me coming up the main drive of Dollar Academy, the Playfair Design main building, rather lovely, keeping off the grass in case Jeff Daniels is watching. And now we've just run round into the Burnside, the lovely kind of central stream through Dollar. It's going to be brilliant in the spring to take film up this because it's entirely lined in cherry blossoms. Just in the far distance you can see the mountains I hope eventually to get up to. But for now the climb is lower as I'm trying the steepest hill in Dollar to experiment. The building just ahead, coming into sight, is the golf club. As you can see, for once at the moment we've got nice blue sky, although the roads are wet, so traction may or may not be an issue. So here we are at the bridge, which essentially marks the start of any climb I do towards the castle, which is my next plan. So we swing right, hop over the bridge. I was originally going to turn left here into the Mill Green, but it's too sharp a turn, so I'll do it later in this trip. So up we go, up the High Street, which is in itself a very nice old road and a bit steep. And cars come round the corners on the wrong side of the road, all too frequently. Close, but no cigar. So now I'm going to swing left into the steepest of the roads, and this is called Hillfoot's Road, which is going to be even steeper than the road I'm on. So we swing left. Now just avoid the young lady with the dog. It's getting steeper and steeper here, but the scooter is coping absolutely no problem. I think we're maybe around 8 to 12%, so it's not at all petrifying. On the left there is the road up to the Castle Road, which I will take at some point. But here we go into the steeper part of Hillfoot's Road. As you can see, it's a well-known place for kids running down, skateboarding down, or BMXing down at high speed. But we won't talk about that, will we, Greg? So, as we go higher, I backed off the speed a bit, but the scooter is going absolutely perfectly. And as you can see, we're now reaching the top, and we're on to the High Street. So this is me coming down the High Street to do a bit more scooting around. And I'm aiming to go into the Mill Green, which is an interesting part of Dollar. Lovely old houses on the High Street, and more cars that can't keep into their own side. So down we go. And as we come down to the bottom, as you can see, the signpost, the walk up Dollar Glen to Castle Campbell. Now look at that drop on the left. That's why I'm taking it just a bit easily at the moment. Although this is nice because it isn't tarred. This is nice kind of gritty gravel path. My memory of this path, which is alongside the stream, oops, a bit of camera problem there, was that it was very flat. But of course, paths that you remember as very flat turn out to be not quite so flat when you do them on the scooter. Now I was trying to get the camera to take more film of the stream, the burn to the left, but I can't quite do it, never mind. So as we come out the back of what is Dollar Museum, we pop out into the Mill Green. As you can see, there's a bit of water on the lens, it's starting to drizzle a bit. Rather lovely here. The Mill Green was apparently where the women of Dollar used to take their laundry to wash it and dry it. More recently, it's the place that the school kids go on the last day of school to have a champagne party, and other people walk their dogs. So there's some nice options up here. I've been up here to take photographs of the bluebells in the past, though they aren't out at the moment, of course. But what I'm going to do is just have a general swing up, because this would be the start of any climb into Dollar Glen, up the side of the burn, which is a combination of the burn of sorrow and the burn of joy, as we climb to Castle Campbell, previously known as Castle Gloom. So here we go, scooting around, still in the mill green. As the trees start to approach and it steepens, it's an area known as Broomy Knowe. Broomy Knowe, K-N-O-E, which means hill, Broomy Hill. And we'll essentially be sweeping round to the right, round the trees and slope that you see ahead. So as we start to leave the grassy part of Dollar Glen, we're going into Broomy Knowe. All rather good on the bike. This is brilliant, quite bouncy, quite rough, and the suspension is getting worked out, but it's working out really well for me. Oh, this is fun. You see on the left there's some sort of memorial or signpost. I'll do a tour of them at some point. For the meantime, all I'm going to do is shoot up higher into the Broomy Knowe paths. Great on the bike. So I'll just go through the ferns there on the right. Some nice overhanging branches, which I have to avoid, of course. But this is brilliant for the bike. If there were miles and miles of this type of track, I would just be in my element. I'd be out in them every day. Though no doubt it gets fairly busy when it's drier, but I'm quite happy to go up in the wet. The scooter's performing brilliantly. There's some sort of loop here, another memorial or signpost or lump of rocks. So we'll just zoom around there. I've never been up here, or have been up here, but I can't remember it, so I'm not entirely sure where it leads to. I know that in some of these paths you end up with a huge set of stairs, which clearly I could neither go up nor down. And as we're turning round here, the glen to our right is deepening, so there's quite a lot of big drops to the right. I just have to be a little careful to focus on the steering, because obviously I'm steering the scooter with one hand, which is fine as long as I concentrate. If I don't, I periodically find myself heading into trouble to the right or left. So we'll concentrate and just keep going along here. It's a lovely path. The sun is coming through periodically. Very nice indeed. And these ferns are lovely. Some nice sitting areas, but I'm not sitting, I'm just zooming past. So I'm probably doing about between 6 and 8 miles an hour here, depending how confident I am on the area I'm in and the likelihood of drops. Just heading through a burn there, which is fine, no problem splashing through that. And zooming through the trees higher on the side of Broomy Knowe. I'm actually, to my left, higher up, is the Castle Road, which I'll eventually be climbing. But for now, I'm probably fairly level and gradient. There's various interesting diversions off to the right, which I'm having to avoid, of course. If I were to drop a wheel down there, I don't think that would be particularly healthy. So I won't do that. Bit dark there, with a bit light ahead. What am I heading into? I have not a clue. Never mind. Zooming along, this is brilliant. Still having a whale of a time. Now I'm as high up as I get on this trip, I think. So we're somewhere like 75 meters up, which isn't a huge climb. I've only really climbed maybe 100. Oh, there's a step down to the right, which I've missed, but I'm only about maybe 100 feet in ascent today, so not a huge amount overall. And following the rim of Broomy Knowe up to Castle Road, and here I am, just finishing and emerging at Castle Road. I'll save you seeing another descent of Castle Road. Cheers!